Good morning and welcome to TNN. We're your hosts, Dana and Itzy.
This week is food week, so we asked students and staff what's the weirdest thing they've eaten. Here's what they said.
Was in survival school. I had to catch a rabbit, and in order to survive, I had to take its eyeballs and suck the water out of its eyeballs in order to survive.
The weirdest thing I drank is when I was younger, I went to a pizza place and I filled up a cup with all the soda flavors.
The weirdest thing I've eaten is chicken hearts. They were in the Liberia when I went to Mexico, which was not my favorite thing to eat. I know it's normal in some places, but never again will I eat a chicken heart.
Hello, Trainer Vikings. The weirdest and most unusual thing I've ever eaten is probably like octopus or squid while eating like sushi. I think that's the weirdest thing. It's a weird texture.
Well, it's not really that weird, but there's one thing only my dad and I, my family like, and that's raw oysters.
Ew!
Frog legs. Delicious.
Okay, so one of the most unusual things that I've ever eaten, it was not on purpose. I was about 22 years old and I was a camp counselor in Southern California, and there was a ton of flies there, because I don't know why. And so I'm walking along with my mouth open, as I do, and a fly flew in and I swallowed it. So that's the grossest, most unusual thing I've ever eaten. It wasn't the best, but I ate it. Okay.
The weirdest thing I've eaten would be quail eggs.
The weirdest thing I ever ate was like corn soup. It was like just vegetables and just corn in it. I did not like it. It was disgusting.
Weirdest thing I've ever eaten was green mac and cheese.
The weirdest thing I've ever eaten is shrimp.
The weirdest thing that I've eaten, it's kind of hard because I've eaten a lot of weird things. I've eaten snails, shark.
Okay, shark is not weird.
Ostrich.
Okay, that is pretty weird.
Squid, live squid.
Okay.
I don't know. I've eaten a lot of weird things.
Worms.
Worms. I did eat worms when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Most unusual thing I've ever eaten have to be blueberries. Squid.
The most unusual or weirdest thing I've ever eaten is a cricket.
Cricket?
Back for seconds.
Nice.
Pickles with mustard.
The strangest thing I've ever eaten was probably kangaroo. I had kangaroo in France.
The weirdest, most unusual thing I've ever eaten is kale.
Kale? What is it?
Kale is gross.
Unusual thing I ate has been ramen with mayonnaise.
What is the weirdest or most unusual thing I ever ate? Let's see, I've had crickets before. Those are pretty okay.
Hey.
Yes. I've had some sort of weird eggs that were on something. Not sure what those were.
Salmon. Eggs.
Eyeballs. Goat.
Goat?
Goat is yummy. That's
You ate
really good
goat?
stuff. Yeah, dude. Goat?
Goat.
Yeah.
Goat would be weird in your mouth, right?
Weird.
Right.
It's not like beef.
Of course.
The weirdest thing I've ever eaten is bear.
Of course. Bear?
What? Bear. It's very...
Berry. We took on bear pun.
It's very greasy.
Okay.
I guess it would be when I was in France, I actually ate escargot, which is snail. And then I also, when I was in Africa, I went to Chadascada and there was a lot of different meat. So I tried alligator and camel and a couple of different animals that I never thought I'd try. And I didn't tell them to tell me what they were until after I ate them, because I didn't think I'd eat them if I knew what they were.
A caterpillar.
Oh, okay.
A ladybug.
When I was little, my brother had a pet caterpillar that he kept in a box. His name was Bob. And Bob got out.
Billy Bob Joe.
Just Bob. Just Bob. But Bob got out. We can call him Billy Bob Joe.
Yeah.
Bob got out of his box and made his way into a bowl of fruit. And so I picked up a green grape and I ate it, and it wasn't a grape, it was poor green caterpillar Bob, and it was really gross. Really sad.
Okay.
The weirdest thing I've ever ate was probably ramen noodles.
Alright, the weirdest thing I've ever eaten is frog legs.
The weirdest thing I ever eaten is a rotten egg and a sugar ant.
The weirdest thing I've ever eaten is cow tongue, and I hated it.
Cow tongue?
It was gross. It's not for me.
Ham.
Interview a little differently for Food Week. We'll be interviewing one of our teachers in a segment we call Hot Takes, which is definitely legal distinct from other YouTube shows you might have watched.
This week, Malik will be checking in with Ms. Dodge. Let's watch.
The hot takes, whereas the chips get hotter, so do the questions. We'll be interviewing one of our trainer teachers while eating spicier and spicier chips. But as the chips get spicier, so will the questions. Today we are going to be talking with Ms. Dodge. Ms. Dodge, are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Was I supposed to wait on the chips? Oh, yeah, go for it.
We'll be starting off with mild cheddar jalapeno Cheetos. Show the bag. Yeah.
This is very bad for my diet.
And our first question, what do you teach and how long have you been teaching?
I teach 6th grade social studies and 2 classes of home ec. I have been teaching, this is my 3rd year teaching.
What's the best part about your job?
What's the best part of my job? Probably a tie between my coworkers and my students. 6th grade's kind of fun because I can joke around with you guys a lot. And then home ec's really fun because I can kind of roast them a little bit, which is very great because they're learning how to cook. Am I done with this one?
Yeah. Let's kick it up a notch. Our next chip is flaming hot Funyuns.
This is the second one?
What's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
Aside from this? Weirdest thing I've ever eaten was sea urchin and like sushi, and then salmon roe sushi, which is like the eggs that come from a salmon.
Have you ever considered about having students around fire and knives?
Am I concerned about having kids around fire and knives daily? Yes. I am constantly concerned about having students around knives. Holy crap, these are getting hot. I just stopped eating these.
Next up, we have dynamite chili lemon Doritos.
What? Okay. Cool.
What's the worst part of your job?
I'm not huge on disrespect. Like, I don't really enjoy getting told to F off when I ask a student where they're supposed to be. Like, I get it, you guys don't like that question either, but like, I mean, heck, give me a better response than F you. That's probably the worst of my job. That or the paperwork. The paperwork's annoying. I hate grading.
Okay. For our last question, we'd like you to eat these bags of Fuego Takis.
Am I eating the whole bag?
As much as you can.
These ones are the nicer ones. My fingers are red.
I don't know, those are the flavors.
Which are hotter? Leah's chucking chips at me. Oh. These have habanero?
Please.
Wait.
So, when is your boyfriend going to propose already?
I do not know when he is going to propose. He told me it was going to be sometime between March and May. Because we have been living together for a very long time for him to not have proposed yet.
How do you explain your team not winning the fantasy football?
Okay. I had a great team for fantasy football, and then Christian McCaffrey got hurt, and then Mike Evans was out for a while, and I had Tom Brady as my quarterback, but Tom Brady can only do so much. Clearly, we saw that with the Buccaneers in the playoffs. You guys know what I'm talking about, Park. So, also, my dad is the one that won the fantasy football league, which I like meh. And Miss Green is very like good at dominating for fantasy football. I don't think I'm gonna invite her next year. Don't tell her I said that.
It's gonna be up to you.
She doesn't watch. She watches this. I'm gonna text her. Is that it? These hurt.
We've had another week to show off the Viking 6 and earn points. Don't forget to turn in your trainer bike to your advisory teacher to make sure your good work gets counted. You can also buy a house t-shirt to show your school spirit and earn spirit points or win games in the Trainer Olympic this week.
Let's check in on our leaderboard so far.
Hey Trader Vikings, Miss Reynolds and Miss Oregon here. February is the month to have integrity, one of our Viking 6. And you can have integrity at school by doing some cool things like being where you're supposed to be, being on time, doing the right thing when no one's looking. If you are caught by any of your teachers or admin doing these cool things, you will be given a trainer buck with an eye on it. You could take that trainer back to
me, and then I'll be standing out in the hall, and you just have to make sure that you put your first name and your last name on it, and then give it to me, and I'll put it in here, and it'll be entered for the drawing every day.
Have a good day, go Vikings!
Woo! Thank you! Hi everybody, it's me, Mrs. Reynolds from the library, and what I wanted to talk with you today is about that Nevada Reading Week book challenge. We did something like this in October, and we're going to be doing it again. So what you're going to do is you have to come get this paper from me in the library, and there's lots of different kinds of books for you to read. You can read a book that features magic. You can read a nonfiction book. And then you can also read a book from the Nevada Reading Week 2022 book list. And the titles are on the back of this paper. So here's the front. And then on the back of your paper, you're going to have this. It's just Catch the Reading Wave blog. Okay, you put your name, you put your student number, and then you are going to write the title and author of each book that you read, which book was your favorite and why, and then you're going to draw a picture of the cover of one of your books that you read. Over here is the list of all the books that are they're in that Nevada Reading Week. Okay, if you have any questions, I'm in the library, please ask. And I hope you participate. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you.
Hey, Mr. West.
Hey, Mr. Nevins. How are you doing?
Doing all right. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm just fine. Something I can help you with?
Yeah, I got a question for you.
Go for it.
How do you fix a broken pumpkin?
A broken pumpkin? I don't know. How do you fix a broken pumpkin?
With a pumpkin patch?